Life is hard when you're a peasant. Hunger, cold and hard work are constant companions, but the biggest danger in life is someone else with ill intent, especially if that person is carrying a sword. A slow death in the mud isn't anyone's first choice, so we best learn how to fight if we're going to have an even chance of surviving. In this video, we're going to talk about combat. If you've seen our video on dice, tests and skills earlier on in the playlist, you already know most of what you need to engage in combat in Gallows Corner. Remember those EXP dice and how they represented your physical, intellectual and emotional traits? Well, today we're only interested in that physical one. Let's get ready to rumble. Whether two people throwing hands outside a tavern in a street brawl, or two groups of armed and angry soldiers facing off on a battlefield, combat in Gallows Corner is resolved in the same way, using our diamond system. This quick visual system streamlines combat encounters and deepens their narrative impact. When combat begins, we first decide who is fighting. Is this several individuals, or are the participants fighting as groups? However you decide, each participant, whether individual or group, is assigned a combat diamond. Each combat diamond has 4 positions. Starting at the top and moving clockwise, we have standing, knocked back, down and retreating. A participant's status is marked on their diamond using a dice, coin or other token. Once participants are paired off and any remaining participants are added to individual fights, combat begins. Each round of combat is resolved using an opposed physical dice roll. Player characters may add additional physical dice to their combat round if they are being supported by their retainers. Resolution is simple. Whoever has the highest result wins the round and may choose an outcome. The round winner may choose to move their opponents 1 step clockwise on their diamond, moving them from standing to knocked back to down, or down to retreating. Each step clockwise makes the opponent weaker and easier to defeat in the next round. The round winner may also choose from a number of other options, including moving their own token anti-clockwise on their own diamond, making them more effective in the next round, choosing to assist an allied participant, choosing to kill or capture an opponent in the down or retreating condition, rallying their allies, or spending an opportunity to issue an order to a retainer. Whatever you choose, combat continues in this opposed fashion until one of the participants flees, surrenders, or is dead. But combat in Gallows Corner isn't just about dice rolls. There are also narrative resolutions to combat encounters, and we achieve these through tests. Just like resolving tests outside of combat, narrators may include tests in combat encounters. Using tests in this fashion is a good way to incorporate the surrounding environment into the fight, or to represent a narrative moment that changes the flow of the battle. Tests can be incorporated at any point in the combat encounter. They can be used to start a combat. A player can try and throw the first punch, catching their opponent off guard. They can be used during the combat. A player might try to call for assistance, or use something in their surroundings to gain an advantage. Or they can be used to end a combat. A player might chase their retreating enemy, or plead for mercy if they are on the verge of defeat. Tests should be used whenever appropriate to deepen engagement, create cinematic moments, and act as a potential pressure release valve to end a combat promptly. The final question is, while these opposed combat roles are taking place, who is telling the story of the fight? And I'm glad you asked. The answer boils down to momentum. Momentum refers to whoever is telling the story of the combat for each combat round. Whoever starts the fight for whatever reason begins with the momentum. They tell the story of the first exchange of blows before that round is resolved with an opposed dice roll. Whoever wins that round gains or keeps the momentum. They describe the outcome of their actions and then continue the story for the new combat round. This process goes on until combat is resolved. Having momentum is a powerful position to be in. The participant with momentum holds the power of the narrative, and so may decide to tell a story that moves the combat from opposed dice rolls to a test, allowing them to end things early or change the combat entirely. A player character with momentum may also choose to spend an opportunity if they have one available, changing the world around the combat in subtle or not so subtle ways. So there we have it, Outlaw. You now know how to fight. Combat in Gallows Corner should almost always be a last resort. It is deadly and dangerous. A peasant facing off against a trained soldier, or even worse, an armoured knight, is not likely to see their next meal. But now you know how to do it, use everything you can to your advantage. Honour is for the rich and the dead, and we know better than that.